go, boom, boom, back, yeah, we got it like that. Kick drum, hit your whole body go crack. The baseline move, take it off of the mat. We rock clouds every time we feel. Boom, boom, back, yeah, we got it like that. Kick drum, hit your whole body go crack. The baseline move, take it off of the mat.
Yes, we are back. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Heat Check. I am your host, JD Dyer, and you know, this is the show that brings you all the unfiltered knowledge from everything around the NBA, as well as breaking down all the stuff that's happening off the court as well. And look, my boys are back. I cannot wait to dive into this week's episode of you. To the left of me, I've got the man who's known as the stat man, but he deserves it because he's the basketball encyclopedia, Mo Moonsey. And to the right of me, I know you're wearing a hat right now, but man, that's got a jealous, that would make anybody jealous with those waves, especially Jalen Ron. I see you, my bro.
I'm sorry. They pulled me out to the stage.
Gents, have we made up? Does that mean we've made up? Are we all good now? Is the Heat Check group chat still popping off all the time?
You know what? There's certain lines. I'm staying on my side of the line every time.
I hear you.
Got Google stats over here. He stays on the Google stats.
Look, I promise not to bring up Devin Booker, Boston Celtics, Phoenix Suns, or probably anything else so that you two don't argue too much today. But can we dive into our first topic? Y'all ready?
Of course.
Hot or not? Guys, let's stay in the East because I tell you what, I remember on week 2 when we were all sitting there, we were chilling, we were conversing, and we started making a few predictions for awards and whatever else. And there was a few sleepers that we all identified. Now, one of those sleepers is putting up consistent performances in Devonte Graham. I know those without a league pass wouldn't really understand who we're talking about right now, but I'm telling you now, the Charlotte Hornets, Devonte Graham, could be potentially the most improved player this year. Is that a hot take or not? Ove, come to you first. I know Mo was ready, but I see you.
Are we saying is he a contender or is he the?
I'm putting it down. He's going to be the most improved player this season.
If I could, I'll go and tear every single snowflake off of that Christmas tree. 'Cause that's a cold take, man.
What?
That's a cold take.
See,
he's not the.
you have a league pass.
He's not the most improved player. He is one of the most improved players, 100%.
Who is the?
Big Bam.
Big Bam, yeah.
Big,
I like that.
Couple triple doubles will change your opinion of him.
Big Bam.
No, because
No, do you know why though? Because numbers-wise, okay, maybe he's not averaging quite as many points, but he's almost doubled in damn near. He's almost doubled in rebounds. He's almost doubled in
his assists are good
points.
this year.
His assists are up. He blocks shots, but his game has evolved.
Okay.
You know, I feel like he's doing more than we thought he could do. Do you know what I mean? I think it's different where Graham, he's just producing more, but he's still fundamentally the same player. He's just having a higher input because he's getting more minutes, whatever the case may be. And above all of that, you know, I'm into winning. Miami Heat is a 100% playoff team. They're a playoff team. I think everyone can agree and say they're a playoff team. Hornets, I think they're going to be on the borderline. They could make the playoffs, but they could miss out too. So, hey, those are two good reasons there why Bam is the most improved player.
He's calling my take a cold take, but
you know,
Mo, come to me,
I want to
man.
disagree with Bam, but I texted over a couple of months back. I was like, we need to keep an eye on Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
And ever since I sent that text, he's gone ham. But I'm going to give you some...
My love, my guy!
Do you know why? Ovi calls me the Google stats. I bought some Google stats
Oh,
for you right about now.
I found the whole research.
You wake me up.
Yeah, I'm done. Let it go.
You man, I'm going to talk to you guys. Which camera am I looking into right now? We're looking right here, yeah? We're going to look over here instead. We've got Devonte Graham. We knew Bam Adebayo had potential last season. Last season, we got Devonte Graham averaging 4.7 points per game. Now he's all the way up at 19.6. And you might think he's just chucking up shots, but he's doing it on efficiency. His three-point percentage is up from 28% to 41%. Yeah? In the league, there's only 4 players that are shooting more threes than him, and he shoots a better percentage than them all. So I'm talking about the Hardens, I'm talking about the Doncic. So the stats are there. The Hornets, before the season, everyone had written them off, saying that they're going to be whacked again and again. So the fact that they're even contending for a playoff spot is more of a surprise to me than Bam Adebayo living up to his potential.
I mean, I'm saying potential-wise, I'm saying the way he's producing, though. Would you not say that Bam has surprised us in, like, he's shown us capability to do more than just be a screen and roller?
No doubt, Bam is way better as a player. But what I'm telling you is, last season, Bam was miles better than Devonte Graham last
But he
season.
wasn't
Devonte
doing-
Graham wasn't even a rotational player. He was back
Exactly.
and forth to the G League. That's why,
Thank
for
you
me,
very much.
he
And
gets
that's
the
why-
most improved because Bam
Narrative.
was a consistent rotation player, whereas Devonte wasn't even sure if he was going to stay in the NBA last season, and now he's come out and become the face of that franchise now that Kemba's gone.
I mean, look at the stats. The stats speak for themselves. I mean,
but it's not all
I
about
know
stats,
it's
though.
not
When you're
all
talking about a most
stats.
improved player, it's how...
I hear what you're saying.
It's how
I'm
he's
not
playing.
saying
I get
Bam
what you're
isn't
saying,
He's
but-
down.
improved more as a player.
you
I'm
have to
saying this is a
admire what the work that
narrative-driven
Devonte Graham's
award.
putting in and the narrative that goes behind the award. I have to agree with my boy Mo right
Like,
now.
you got to look at the storyline
He was
behind
he
it.
was a two-way player in the G League last year. He comes into a Charlotte Hornets system which is revamped under
Yeah.
Terry Rozier as well. Look, right now Devonte Graham's looking good. 52% from the top of the arch. No, not there. And we even asked the people on Twitter.
I don't think there's much in it.
Let the
I'm going to be
people on
real
Twitter
with you.
speak for
There's not a
themselves.
lot in it, but
But
you
look at
can't
the
deny
result.
what he's doing.
Look, OV, you're going to get upset with me.
all
The
of
people
the-
on Twitter have backed you 100%.
You know what's peaking?
All of the...
on that poll, I voted for Bam as well.
Look at you. All this nonsense you lot are talking is getting me lightheaded.
No, but it's undeniable what Devonte is doing.
100%.
It is undeniable
100%.
that no one could have predicted. I predicted that Bam Adebayo would become a great player in this league,
course.
but I could never have predicted that Devonte Graham would become the player that we're seeing today, and he's still got a long way
He's
to
not
go.
the most improved. Cold take.
I mean, look, I was a hot take of it, but what? No shout out for my boy Jonathan Isaac at all from the Magic? No?
I thought
Are we
you
really
picked
just leaving it?
Jalen.
Are we just really leaving it like that? Are we really leaving it like that?
Defensively, I got love for Jonathan Isaac.
There you go.
It's just on
There's
the
a
other
little bit of
side,
love.
the Magic need a scorer. That's all I'm saying on that.
I mean, Devontae's getting a lot of love on YouTube as well. He's going viral. Pretty much every week I'm seeing something new from Devontae
Yeah,
Graham.
but like my point is, it's not that he's not producing. He's producing and he's doing a lot. He's moving mad.
Yeah.
He's moving mad. But I'm saying he's not surprising you as far as the type. It's like someone who 1 year they were just screening and rolling, and next year they've shown the ability to hit in mid-range, and then the next year they've shown the ability to hit a three. That shows growth in your game. It's not just numbers. Like Devontae Graham, he's
no
just,
doubt, but
he's a shooter.
But
like,
it's not just the numbers, it's the fact that he wasn't even a guaranteed NBA
I
player
get
last
it.
season.
He's improved
now
in
he's
that
the
aspect.
face of a franchise.
This is why we love hot
sitting
take.
after Kemba.
This is why we
Do you
love
know what I'm
hot
saying?
take.
But what
Yeah.
I will say on Bam is Bam has the potential to be better than Draymond Green ever was in that same type of
let's
role.
just stop
So
there
I can't
before we
wait
get
to
into
see
another
100%,
completely hot take.
100%.
You think so?
Green,
I'm
Draymond
showing
Green
some
is-
love to Bam.
Hey.
You
Aye,
see
look,
the
the
way he
accolades
operates
that
on the
Draymond
court.
Green's put in, though.
Draymond Green is washed. Draymond Green is washed.
Let's stay in the
Draymond
East.
Green is washed.
Let's stay in the East for the next segment of Hot or Not. And look, I just touched down from New York. And look, the talk right now over there in Brooklyn is that potentially the Brooklyn Nets are even better without Kyrie than they are with Kyrie. I mean, look, we see the superstar name. We've seen the big transition that both of those superstars have made, including Kevin Durant in that. But are the Brooklyn Nets a better team without Kyrie Irving on the court? Mo, I'm going to you first. Oh, it's a hot take. You're telling me it's a hot take. You have to back
It's-
it now
it's a-
because he's a
it's a
superstar.
spicy take.
28 and 7.
He is a superstar, but basketball.
He knows what they've done to Boston. Go on.
Basketball is a team game, right? You see the way that Brooklyn play when Kyrie's not on the court, they're moving the ball. They're more than just that. They look like they're having fun and enjoying playing basketball. Whereas when Kyrie was on the court, I know it was a small sample size and it was the start of the season, so we have to take it with a little pinch of salt. But the way that Brooklyn have been playing with Spencer Dinwiddie leading that charge, starting there, you know, the Nets have got a better record. They were 4-7 with Kyrie, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
and
you're
they're
right.
10-5 without him.
Okay.
You know, so they're a much improved team. And I think the key emphasis is on the word team there because a lot of those guys from last year, they had a really strong bond with DAngelo as well. They went and replaced him with Kyrie Irving. I don't think, if I was the Brooklyn Nets, I would have replaced him with Kyrie Irving. But he's essential to that team. The only reason why they're better with Kyrie in is because if it wasn't for Kyrie being there, Kevin Durant wouldn't be joining them next season.
Ove, I mean, you're big on Spencer Dinwiddie. I know you are. I know you're a big fan of the body of work that he's putting together. But this hot take is still the same. Are the Brooklyn Nets a better team on the court when Kyrie's sitting down?
Yeah, man. What are you talking about?
Not even up for discussion.
Give me all of these. Give me all of these. Give me all of these. Give me all of
I'm
these.
looking
I'm
at
burning. That take is so hot. And you know what? As much as you hate to say it, especially because Kyrie's such a talented player.
He is. The talent speaks for itself.
But he doesn't make a team better, and it's been proven. And it's only been a sample size this year, but if you look at his whole career, that's not a sample size. What he done at Cleveland, what he went and done at Boston, and what, now he's doing at, what's it called? Brooklyn.
Yeah, of course.
Like, it's been proven that when he's on the floor, he's gonna wow you. But then when someone isn't a team player and that wowing doesn't necessarily translate into a winning program, after a while people get bored.
Yeah.
It's like, people are like, okay, well, we know you can score 50 points. We know, like, you've shown us, but can you, like, do something special now?
I think it's quite interesting because if this was James Harden, for example, in the same system, everyone would be calling him ball dominant. It's boring, it's ISO ball. When Kyrie does it, because it's maybe done with a bit more guile, because it's done with maybe a few more highlights, people aren't really putting that same sort of pressure on Kyrie. But you're right, the stats speak for themselves. This will be his third team that he's potentially pushed off, that are potential contenders, where he's turned around and saying that they're better without him than they are with him.
I wouldn't say that they were contenders. I wouldn't go that far. But I feel like they are definitely 100% a more productive team without him on the floor. And he doesn't add what a leading superstar should add to your team.
I mean, that productivity with and without is clear to see, but it's that net rating that maybe would create the question. It would create the question as maybe that, I mean, that net rating isn't that far apart. So it maybe create the question that maybe we're looking into it's a bit too much.
As much as I like stats, I think that this is a situation where you have to watch the games and realize the Brooklyn Nets are enjoying the basketball a lot more without Kyrie Irving. It only took 2 weeks into the season before a report came out of the Brooklyn camp saying that there's already friction with him and his teammates. Now,
that's not a good look.
As an organisation, if you look back at last season, the most famous celebration last season
on the bench
was the bench mob. The Brooklyn bench mob, they were lit. This season with Kyrie, they're not the same without D'Lo. And for me, it's like, you're looking at Kyrie. If you take aside the championship, when you mentioned James Harden has that pressure because he's not won a ring.
Of course.
But let's say LeBron never came back to Cleveland.
Would Kyrie
because, when Cleveland just had Kyrie, they weren't even contending for the playoffs. So, he's got that title with LeBron, greatest player on the planet, arguably.
100%.
But then he's gone to Boston. When he was out injured, they got to the Eastern Conference Finals. When he was playing with them in the playoffs, you saw that they fell apart last year.
Hey, you guys
absolutely fell apart.
You guys are encouraging today. I like this. This is good. I mean, I'm actually agreeing with you.
Yeah,
I'm actually agreeing with you. I actually do think, I sat in the production meeting with you and I tried to defend it. I tried to think to myself that the Brooklyn Nets, they wouldn't be in the position they are in terms of the potential they have going forward without Kyrie Irving. I mean, basketball fans, sometimes we have short-term memories about the wows, the 50 points they were putting up in the beginning of the year, but you are right, it's about winning games. And looking at that Brooklyn system, I don't think he's maybe complementing the system as well as he should be. That's potentially a take.
And you can't trade him because otherwise how does that make Kevin Durant feel?
Fact.
I think they just have to heavily load manage him, let Brooklyn contend for the playoffs with Spencer Dinwiddie leading the charge, and then try and refigure that team, either trade Spencer for another good piece or have some serious conversations in the summer.
I think if Spencer Dinwiddie continues to do what and they do continue to win, hey, it's not going unseen. Like, KD will start to look at it like, okay, well, if we can offload Kyrie and get another piece, but someone who can add to the team, like a winning all-star, what I'd probably call them, like a winning all-star, then, hey, I don't think, KD would be against that.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Here's my last hot take for you guys this week. I mean, look, we've seen it, and unfortunately, the Cleveland Cavaliers are not going anywhere without LeBron James. But there's still some people that were in that title-winning team that people have almost forgotten about. And one of those names is Kevin Love. Now, we know that at the beginning of the season, the Cleveland Cavaliers made it aware that they would be looking to trade Kevin Love actively. But at this take, could Kevin Love still contribute to a title-contending team?
Man, that's so damn freezing cold. that's so
are you forgetting,
freezing cold.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go. Go for it.
Kevin Love, Mr. Old Washed. Mr. Old Washed. He's only 31, but he's washed. I mean, at the end of the day, he's not the Kevin Love that we saw in the Timberwolves. He went to, play with LeBron in Cleveland, and what you do when you go and play on a team with LeBron James, with like multiple megastars, is it puts things into perspective and it makes you realise how good you really are.
Wow.
That's why I think, you know, everyone was really able to appreciate Chris Bosh in that he was able to play with Dwayne Wade. And,
Came from being an all-star
You
as
know,
well.
and he came from being an all-star, putting up, you know, monster numbers when he was in Toronto, but he was able to go down there and still be
Effective.
very effective. And be but he still had his game.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin Love, ultimately, he changed his whole sort of game. He became more of a sort of
Stretch.
a
Spot-up
stretch.
shooter, man. They
he
respected that man.
Yeah.
in Cleveland. They did not respect his talent.
He became like a spot-up shooter. You know, he lost size. Now he didn't become, you know, he wasn't
He
sort
was
of
a
the inside.
beast.
He wasn't the
He
inside
was a
presence.
We were talking about it. Remember the 20 and 20s
Listen.
that he was putting up in Minnesota?
Yeah, so he's washed.
This is
He's
what I'm
washed.
saying.
He's washed. He's washed. Wash him.
Give him a chance.
Wash him.
This
Wash
is what
him.
I'm saying, bro. The year is turning 2020, but that's the only 2020 Kevin Love's going to be seeing on a nightly basis. You know what I'm saying? This is ice cold.
Yeah, I
You get
mean.
me? You know what I'm saying? But well, the thing is, he's not going to help a contender. But the teams that are currently down and out, maybe a little bit like Portland, he could help them perhaps move up a few spots in the West. But is he going to be the difference maker that brings you a championship? I don't think so.
I mean, Mo, look at this poll for potential destinations that Kevin Love could fit into. Where do you see, if anywhere, him contributing? I see the Celtics there as well. But where do you see him contributing and
Celtics-
saying that you could potentially push them into a higher echelon?
The
as they
Celtics
say?
lack bigs, and getting Kevin Love would add some well-needed size. However, as a defender, he lacks what the Celtics are in need of in terms of rim protection and that dominant
soft
force.
inside.
He's soft. He's
Yeah,
not.
Celtics
It's a consistent
If
theme for
you're
you,
driving
innit?
to the bucket and you see Kevin Love there, as a basketball player, if you were driving to the bucket and you saw Kevin Love, you would try and dunk on him, wouldn't you?
No, he's mushy. He's like
You know what I mean?
baby food.
If you saw like a Rudy Gobert, you're gonna think maybe he might block my shot.
No,
but
he will.
Kevin,
He will
you know what I'm
splat
saying?
it.
Kevin Love, you're going at the right. Portland is kind of my primary destination for Kevin Love because, you know, they have an expendable asset in Hassan Whiteside when Nurkic comes back. He's on an expiring deal and the money matches up. So I think that trade makes too much sense because, you know, he's originally from the Pacific Northwest, I think.
Yeah, he is.
from
Up
Oregon.
in Portland, yeah. So bringing him home and adding another scoring option to that team, it then does make Portland look kind of dangerous. When you got Dame, you got CJ, and you got Kevin Love. Nurkic can do his thing as well when he's back. It's a shame Rodney Hood's out injured because he would fit in perfectly there, and that would be a scoring five.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think Portland's is
I
where
like
they
these
stand up.
takes. I like these takes. Look, we'll get a chance to see whether or not these develop,
Hey,
especially
man,
that Kevin Love
shake my
one.
damn hand. You've
But-
been following my lead
Look,
today. Good
as
job.
you can see, let's catch up with our latest episode
been
of
listening
Who's
to
Got
me in
Game. Mo and
pre-production, I see
Yanni
you.
went down to Leicester Riders for their season opener. Look, they're even smiling.
We playing a new team. You know, they got a lot of new guys, but we're looking forward to the season. We had an okay first beginning of the season, so we just want to continue off of that and play well for the rest of the year.
People don't appreciate the talent that is here being displayed in this league. And when bigger players are coming to the league and they're playing, they're shocked.
So we're okay. I just think individual defense at times has broken down. Keep running, keep making the right decisions. This second half, we have to go out and get together as a group, keep reminding each other what we're doing, what we're in, and how we stay connected. All right, we ready for that? Yeah. Let's go. Together. 1, 2, 3. Go.
And that is game over. Riders win opening night. You must feel good.
Yeah, definitely feel good. I thought our guys did a good job in the second half of playing the defense when we needed to. Plymouth did a good job scoring and pushing the basketball, but I thought when we had to, we got the stops. And then offensively, we were really tough tonight.
I think we played a really good defensive game today. We were really communicating on both ends of the floor, to be honest, on offense and defense. They're a great team, and they really pushed us to play better.
You feeling good about this team this year?
Yes, I'm feeling very good. We're a very deep team. We have a lot of pieces. We're still a bit banged up, and we're still trying to figure out who we are. But we hang our hats on the defensive end, and that's been our identity so far this year, and we're just trying to improve at that every game.
Excited to see the next game. What's your mindset going into that one?
Every game, we take every game as it comes, man. I'm going to rest up for this weekend and get back on the floor on Monday and attack it the same way we do every game.
I see you got the ice on your knees. I'm going to let you get off and get some rest. Appreciate your time, my brother. Take it. Good game, man. Thank you.
We're in a good rhythm, and I think that, we want to keep building, and the important thing for us is that we continue to get better as the season goes on.
Right, fantastic opening win. Fantastic to be here. The energy is incredible.
And the Leicester Riders secured the easy victory against the Plymouth Raiders here tonight. It was a fantastic game. Johanna, your first ever BU experience. You're repping the merch, I'm repping the merch. What did you think of the game?
Energy was live. It's something that I just haven't experienced before. Just things like back-to-back threes are incredible here. Big dunks, incredible to be a part of. For now, that's us done in Leicester, and it's just back to the studio.
See you there.
Yeah, I love that. BBL action with our very own Ovi as well. I know you wasn't smiling because I know the Leicester Raiders. I know you wasn't. It was a very good team, very good team. What was it like to be down there? And first of all, I need to turn around and say something to you as well. That coat. Where did you grab that coat from? You're not even man no bringings.
Man's not hot, yeah.
I was actually crazy ill when we did that shoot, but I thought, for the people, I still want to go and see who's got games. So
I hear you.
Went down. I needed to stay warm. I was freezing cold, even in that giant coat inside, but I can't plug where it's from because they're not trying to make man an influencer and that. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not seeing peas off that plug.
Oh
so
my God.
I'll tell you off air. But anyway, it's fantastic. To have live basketball in Britain is great for young people to get into the sport, because you can't go and see an NBA game every day, But to have live basketball there with talented players in this league, it's exciting. I'm going to try and get back to Leicester for when Mr. Soko himself comes to town, because I know that's going to be a big showdown.
Big. Look, that coat was worthy of going to All-Star Weekend, and that actually dives into our next segment, Off the Court. Look, 2020 gets me excited for one reason. Beginning of the year, All-Star Weekend. I know you got your coat ready now. I hope you got your puffer coat ready as well.
Chi-Town cold in
Because
the
Chi-Town
winter.
is going to be cold in February. Voting opens on Christmas Day for all of the early season predictions. But guys, I'm going to come to you two as the analysts. You turn around and tell me, first of all, who are you seeing as some of the sleepers that could potentially get into that All-Star Weekend? Our waves are out first. I'll go for you. Go there.
Well, first off, I've got the captains the same as last year.
Okay.
I really can't see there being any changes there. LeBron and Giannis, I think those two have been the most dominant players, respectively, on the East and West. But as far as newcomers to the All-Star game, from the West, I think there's only one that's right.
He's going to say it,
That double seven.
He's gonna
That
say it.
double seven.
I knew it was going to come. I knew the flag was going to come.
Luka, man. It's got to be Luka.
I hate you.
Luka Doncic, man. He's been absolutely unreal. Hasn't slowed down. He's really just picked up and gone from strength to strength this season.
Flying.
And I think if he's not an all-star, he'll be very... Yeah.
I mean, that space is now open because Steph is not there.
To be honest, I, in my opinion, I'm putting him in that starting five. I'm putting him in the starting five.
Last year,
You know
he
what I
should have
mean?
been there on the popular vote. The fact that he wasn't in last year's game, I think was unbelievable. But,
Give me your predictions. Who are you turning around and saying?
I'm saying the captain's same as last year. I don't think anyone can dispute that. But obviously, you said Luka. I think that given his career and his career path so far, I do think that we might see a sneaky inclusion of Trae Young in the Eastern All-Star team.
I like that. I
Because
like
he's been
I
doing
like
it for the
Trae.
Hawks, and he's a big-time, big, flashy player. You know what I mean? He's pulling up from anywhere. You put him in that All-Star game, and he's put it up from half court and he's letting it fly. So, that's one name for me. Speaking of Devonte Graham, he might be an outside shout, but I want to see him in a three-point contest, not so much the game. But I want to see Spencer Dinwiddie in the All-Star game, and I want to see how Kyrie Irving feels about, a little bit of tension there because Kyrie's missed a lot of games. I know he's very popular with the fans, but if he doesn't make that starting spot, the coach of the All-Star team then has to look at which players in the Eastern Conference are most deserving. You're looking at Jimmy Butler's there, you're looking at Kemba Walker's there, you're looking at, there's a lot of talented players in the East now. So you're looking at Kyrie, who's missed most of the game so far. Is he guaranteed a spot? I don't know. And if Spencer Dinwiddie gets a look, then I'm looking forward to that drama.
What do you think about Siakam?
I got one.
Spicy Pete's
Spicy Pete
got to be
100%
there.
be in
Got
there.
to
I
be
reckon
there.
he'll be starting as well. But I'm going to go to both of you and tell man and say, you're captain of the East and you're captain of the West. You can only choose from your conferences. Who would you pick as your first pick on East side?
From the East?
From the East. I'll let you get the West in a second, but from the East, who are you picking as your first pick? You're Giannis. Who's your first pick? You can only pick from your conference.
First pick from the East. Woo! I got to go with Joel Embiid.
Ooh, I like that. Big man down in the paint.
Gotta go with Joel Embiid.
You're captain of the West. Right now, you're LeBron James, as you're predicting. Who are you picking from the West as your first?
He's got plenty.
There's enough players
That's
that
harder,
I could
though.
pick. That is a very tough question, but if I'm LeBron James, there's only one name that he can say, and that's his teammate Anthony Davis.
But people use this as an opportunity to see other players in your system,
but think
how you
about
work
how
with
is
them.
Anthony Davis going to feel in that locker room after All-Star Weekend?
I ain't gonna take it
LeBron, you ain't
personal.
even pick me, bro. What's that? You make me move all the way to LA, you ain't even pick me for the
I'm
All-Star
sure he wasn't
game.
forced
But,
to LA.
there's a lot of talented players. The Beard is there. He always puts on a show for the fans. Luka, of course. I would love to pick Luka because his style of play, for me, is one of the most fun styles to watch. And, he's going to dish that rock as well and get every man involved in that offense.
Oh, look, I can't wait. Chi-Town, ready for us. Ready for us in February. But look, let's jump into our next segment. Post it up. As we know, the NBA is trying to be truly global. Look at us right now, 3 London representatives ourselves. But they've grown again, this time in the G League. And Adam Silver has turned around and added a new team to that format. Now we now have 29 teams, and we can expect that announcement as we expected it last week. What are we saying in terms of the growth, in terms of adding the Capitans to the G League setup? The first team in Mexico City.
It's fantastic for the game. We had the NBA Mexico games recently. You see how much the fans love the sport. The NBA has done a great job with the Latin American Heritage Theme Nights, with the Lost Suns and Lost Lakers and whatever the other jerseys have been over the years. Like, that's been going back 10, 20 years now. So it's fantastic to get another market involved for the fans in New Mexico. A lot of people sleep on the G League. They don't realise that some of the stars that we're seeing, like we talked about Devonte Graham.
He was in the G League last
Chris
year.
Middleton was in the All-Star game last year. He's come out of the G League. A lot of the talented players that we see actually had their origins, or they've been for some portion of their career in that G League. So for the Mexican fans down in Mexico City, they get to see maybe the stars of tomorrow, or maybe stars that are going to break out. And also in terms of expanding the game globally, you've already got the Toronto Raptors up north. You've got Mexico City down there. I think it's going to be fantastic. And then it's only a matter of time before it spreads even further.
I mean, he said it himself. We're expecting this decision, obviously, to be confirmed and it take form in 2020 season to 2021 season. But can we actually potentially see an expansion in London?
I can see that happening eventually. And I think if the NBA looks at it, it only makes sense. In the States, they got the NBA teams. You've got sort of the prime time guys. But I think for a league that's so amazing, there's too much and too wide a gap between the NBA and the G League as far as how it's promoted and how it's pushed. But ultimately, when you're in the States, you want to see the first guys. But I think there is a huge market there and space for expansion by moving the G League possibly outside of the States and moving sort of the grassroots to other countries,
yeah,
and it just brings more. It brings more excitement around the sports. You can still see these NBA team affiliates, right in your backyard. So I think it makes sense.
With Denver and Portland being the only 2 teams in the NBA that don't have those direct affiliates, do you think that impacts it at all now that especially when they're trying to become a global league?
Well, I'm not sure why they don't have those affiliate teams because, say, for instance, we take an example of Taco Fall. He's a player that was drafted this year. He's a projects player. You know, he's not a complete package. He's still got a lot to learn about his game. So the Celtics have signed him and sent him to the main Red Claws to work with the G League team down there and develop his game. So I don't understand any teams who don't have an affiliate. And I think one underrated factor about the G League is, as time progresses and we see more and more players who don't want to play for free, perhaps in the NCAA, they might be looking at alternatives, and we might see some rule changes in the future. I don't know, but you know, it would be great if instead of going to Australia, LaMelo Ball could have done a few years in the G League before coming into the main league. So you never know how this can turn out. We might be seeing sold-out crowds because it might be all the best young talent in the world in that G League. So it's a positive step. I can't wait to see it.
Look, we're almost out of time, but we still have to give you our primetime preview. Yes, guys, all the Sky Sports action continues this weekend, Saturday night from 10 p.m. on Sky Sports Mix and Sky Sports YouTube, as the Utah Jazz go up against the same guy we were just talking about today, Devonte Graham and them Charlotte Hornets. That all kicks off again from 10 p.m. And look, tip off on Sunday night, this time as the Dallas Mavericks face up against the Toronto Raptors from 8:30 on Sky Sports Football. Yes, I said Sky Sports Football, and also available on the YouTube. Guys, just give me your quick predictions now. Mo, I'm going to come to you for the Utah-Charlotte game.
Utah, they've got the pieces on paper. They've got a very strong starting five, but there's just been one missing factor. I can't quite put my finger on it, but they haven't looked like the team we were expecting. Charlotte are at home. I'm hoping my guy Devonte goes off. PJ as well, big factor. So I'm thinking that the Hornets can steal this one.
Okay, and I'm going to come to you as well for the Mavs versus the Raptors.
Mavs versus the Raptors. I think that Dallas, everyone's, raves on about Doncic, especially myself. And obviously Raptors are going to be at home. They've got, they're a very good team at home, and they've got, Siakam leading the way, who's obviously putting together an impressive campaign. But I feel like the Mavs are more than Doncic, and they'll be able to pull it out. I think, with how Steph Curry just played recently and has been playing, Hardaway, they've got a good supporting cast. And obviously, around the big boy, I think he's going to create mismatch problems for both Siakam and Marc Gasol. And ultimately, I just think they come away with a win.
Look, guys, there's only one episode left in 2019 of the Heat Check. So let's jump into our Heat Check special that we have planned for you on Christmas Eve, which will be available all day on Christmas Eve on the Sky Sports YouTube channel. That's episode 7 of the Heat Check. Make sure you stay with us. Again, I'm going to repeat, Christmas Eve on the Sky Sports YouTube channel. Just a quick one before we obviously depart from you guys. Look, us as part of the NBA community, we also want to send our regards, and our thoughts are going out to former Commissioner David Stern. Obviously, I know that he's gone through a serious surgery, and trust me, our hopes and our prayers are with you, my friend. We wish you a speedy recovery. I know it's tough times for you right now, so our love is being sent to your family. But from Mo, and from Ovi, and from all of us here at Sky, we cannot wait to see you. Look, keep building with us, keep jumping with us, and we cannot wait to see you on Christmas Eve, man. Much love, and I'll see you soon.
Sky Sports. Feel it all.